In a world where family ties can bind or break, Evelyn, a young girl, faces betrayal from those meant to protect her. Cast out by her billionaire father, Arthur Langley, after sacrificing her health to save him, she dies in despair. Reborn with a burning desire for justice, Evelyn rises as a superstar, determined to reclaim her life and expose the lies of her family. This is her journey of resilience, revenge, and ultimate liberation. Evelyn grew up in the opulent Langley estate, but her life was far from luxurious. Her father, Arthur Langley, a billionaire tycoon, favored her half-sister, Sophia, believing Sophia's mother, Clara, was his childhood sweetheart, Elise. Evelyn, bearing her mother's surname, Hart, was treated as an outsider, her existence a reminder of a supposed imposter. Despite this, Evelyn's love for her father was unwavering. When Arthur was diagnosed with leukemia, Evelyn, only 8, underwent a bone marrow transplant to save him, a procedure that left her frail and ill. The Langley family, led by Arthur's mother Margaret and sister Beatrice, dismissed Evelyn's sacrifice. They mocked her declining health, accusing her of faking illness to gain attention. On Arthur's birthday, Evelyn presented a painting, hoping to win his affection, but Sophia claimed it as her own. When Evelyn's critical illness notice was discovered, the family ridiculed her baldness from chemotherapy, with Margaret calling her a liar. Arthur, blinded by his love for Sophia, expelled Evelyn from the family, declaring her no longer his daughter. Heartbroken, Evelyn died alone, her final thoughts filled with regret for loving a father who never loved her back. In her dying moments, Evelyn learned a devastating truth from Sophia. Her mother, Elise, was Arthur's true childhood sweetheart, a fact Clara had hidden by destroying Elise's diary. This revelation fueled Evelyn's resolve in her next life. Her sacrifice had been for a family that never valued her, and she vowed to never again seek their approval. Reborn into the same timeline, Evelyn awoke with memories of her past life. She was back in the Langley household, facing the same cruelty. But this time, she was different. Armed with knowledge of her mother's truth and Sophia's deceit, Evelyn decided to forge her own path. She refused to let the Langleys define her worth, focusing instead on proving her strength and exposing their lies. Evelyn's first act of rebellion was confronting Sophia's manipulative behavior. When the family discussed Arthur's leukemia, Evelyn refused to blindly offer her bone marrow, challenging Sophia to do the same. Sophia, pampered and unwilling, deflected, reinforcing her status as the favored child. Evelyn's defiance shocked the family, who expected her compliance. She declared her intent to leave the Langley household, no longer willing to endure their abuse. Her opportunity for independence came through a film audition for The Little Princess. Evelyn saw this as her chance to break free and build a name for herself. Despite Beatrice's attempts to sabotage her, Evelyn prepared tirelessly, channeling her pain into her performance. She also discovered her mother's diary, hidden in the attic, which detailed Elise's love for Arthur and confirmed her identity as his childhood sweetheart. This strengthened Evelyn's resolve to honor her mother's memory by succeeding on her own terms. At the audition, Evelyn's raw emotion captivated the director, outshining Sophia's rehearsed performance. Her portrayal of a girl abandoned by her father moved the audience to tears, earning her the lead role. Sophia, enraged, tried to undermine Evelyn by spreading rumors, but Evelyn's talent was undeniable. Her performance went viral, garnering millions of fans and establishing her as a child star. Enter Fiona Ulrich, a formidable businesswoman and head of the Ulrich Corporation. Fiona, recognizing Evelyn's potential, intervened when the Langleys tried to reclaim her for their benefit. She revealed herself as Elise's best friend, having promised to protect Evelyn after Elise's death. Fiona adopted Evelyn, offering her a new home and the resources to thrive. Under Fiona's guidance, Evelyn honed her skills in acting, singing, and dancing, becoming a sensation. Fiona also helped Evelyn clear her name when Sophia and Beatrice spread lies about her bullying and poor grades. Using her influence, Fiona exposed the Langleys' mistreatment, turning public opinion in Evelyn's favor. Evelyn's rise to fame was a direct challenge to the Langleys, who had underestimated her. She reveled in her independence, no longer needing their approval, but her heart still ached for the father who had rejected her. Arthur's world began to crumble when he stumbled upon Elise's diary, hidden by Evelyn in her old room. The diary's detailed accounts of their childhood together, games of hide-and-seek, folded paper cranes with loving eyes, confirmed Elise as his true love. He realized Clara had deceived him, and Sophia was not Elise's daughter. Evelyn, the child he had cast out, was the one he should have cherished. Devastated, Arthur confronted Beatrice and Clara, uncovering their plot to secure Sophia's place in the family. Beatrice admitted to driving Elise away for her own gain, while Clara confessed Sophia was her child from another man. Arthur's regret was overwhelming. He had failed Evelyn, subjecting her to years of neglect and abuse. He sought her out, hoping to make amends, but Evelyn, now thriving under Fiona's care, refused to see him. She told Fiona to convey a message. She forgave him, but could never forget the pain he caused. Arthur's attempts to reconnect were met with Evelyn's firm boundaries. She insisted on handling her own expenses and refused his financial support, asserting her independence. The Langleys, meanwhile, faced public backlash as Evelyn's story of survival and triumph spread, tarnishing their reputation. Arthur lived with the weight of his mistakes, haunted by the daughter he had lost. Despite her resolve to move on, Evelyn faced one final test. Arthur's leukemia returned, and she was the only compatible donor. Fiona urged her to prioritize herself, but Evelyn, still bound by a sense of duty, secretly donated her bone marrow. She left a necklace, a gift from Arthur in her past life, with a note asking Fiona not to tell him. Evelyn wanted no gratitude, only to sever the last tie to her father. Years later, Evelyn stood at the peak of her career, a global superstar, adored by millions. She married a kind man who cherished her, and their wedding was a celebration of her hard-won happiness. Arthur, now a shadow of his former self, watched from afar, barred from her life by his own actions. He learned of Evelyn's donation through Margaret, who tearfully admitted their family's debt to her. Arthur chose to honor Evelyn's wishes, staying away to let her live free of his shadow. Evelyn's journey was one of transformation. From a rejected child, she became a beacon of strength, proving that love and validation come from within. Supported by Fiona, who became her true family, Evelyn rewrote her story, leaving behind a legacy of resilience. As she danced at her wedding, surrounded by love, Evelyn knew she had not only survived the Langleys, but had soared beyond their reach, forever free.